Hi everyone, I am Mrs. Brent Thomas and I'm glad to be here with you today. Mm, I want us to talk about habits that will strengthen your marriage in 2025. I think there is a need to have such conversations. Like I always say, we don't succeed in marriage by default and we learn how to make it work. Yeah, I know you pray to God, I know you love each other. And in addition to loving each other and trusting God, it's important to know how to live as a married couple. So stay tuned as I take us through some measure habits, some habits that we could practice to bring in more joy, make our marriages resilient, to bring in peace into our homes, and make us grow in love with each other, with our spouses every single day. Number one, I will encourage every young couple, especially, or every couple, to practice daily gratitude and appreciation of their partners. If you just got married and you're wondering, how can I keep the love I feel for my partner growing? How can I make it grow? You don't need to do extraordinary things. As it is said, it's always in the habits. A lot of times we focus on the big things more than the little things that make the big things. What am I trying to say? You can see people living together, never saying thank you for being my husband, thank you for being my wife, thank you for buying the groceries, thank you for taking care of the kids, because they feel entitled over time. Like when you're living with someone, you feel like, okay, by the way, it's their responsibility to do this and that because he's the man. It's her responsibility to bear me children because she's the woman. Yes, it's their responsibility. We've not disagreed, but it doesn't mean they should not be recognized or appreciated for the efforts they make. Not everybody is responsible enough to carry on their responsibilities. I guess you know that already. So if your wife or your husband can do little things, can even be present in your life, is not dead, you should be thankful for that already. You're thankful to God and to the person. It takes a level of consciousness to stay alive. Don't you know some people are reckless enough to waste their lives? Some people are reckless. They finish drinking, getting drunk, and the next minute they are driving around. And you have a partner who is willing to stay alive with all the crisis and stress that we have in society. A partner will not consider suicide in spite of all the stress you may be going through in your marriage. Have you ever thought for once to say thank you for being alive for me? Thank you for being strong for me. It's important to practice daily gratitude. One of the things that daily gratitude and appreciation will do in your marriage is that it will take away that sense of familiarity that comes with living with someone over for a long time. There's this saying that familiarity breeds contempt, and I bet you it's a very true saying. What you don't appreciate will depreciate. So, my dear, you better start appreciating what you have, because what you don't appreciate soon enough, you will feel like you feel bored, and it starts depreciating, and you start losing respect and value for the very thing that you asked God to give you, the very person you had prayed for to be in your life. So please, in 2025, make conscious efforts to say thank you, I love you, I appreciate you to your spouse as often as possible. I will even recommend daily, at least once a day. Make them know that you are conscious and grateful for their presence in your life, even if they are not doing exactly what you may want them to do at that point. But there is a way you can appreciate someone. There's a way you can be expressive, not like you're flattering, you're just being sincere. At least you cannot say your partner is 100% bad. There is certainly one thing about that person that makes you love the person, that made you choose that person. You can just thank that partner for that thing, even for the daily chores they carry out in the house. Please be grateful, appreciate what you have so that it keeps growing in value. If not, it will depreciate. The second thing I want you to know is, as couples, please learn to show affection. See, nobody was born with marriage skills. We are all learning to be good partners, and we are all learning what it takes to make it work. Showing affection is an exclusive privilege that comes with marriage. So I don't see the need why you go and tell the whole world I want to be married, and yet you are not able to do what you should do when you're married. You deprive each other from the privileges that come with marriage. Or was the marriage just to make people feel, just for the title? Or I don't know. Yeah, I know some of us were born in families where we never had the experience. Nobody showed us affection. We never had that. But like I said, nobody was born with that. We all learned it. Even those who came from homes where there was a lot of affection, their parents learned it, or they learned it from somewhere. So it's just about being intentional. It has little or nothing to do with how you were born or not born. Yes, I don't disregard the fact that background experiences can influence the way we perceive things. But like I said, if you want to succeed in something, you learn what it takes to make it work, and you apply it, and unlearn what makes it, destroys it, and stop applying it. So please, I remember there was this lady who I had known this lady some time ago, and she seems not to be in a very good marriage. I could perceive she was not happy. And I remember trying to talk with her, and she was like, one of the things that made her feel so bad, she was such a loving wife, always, she was very industrious. She was a go-getter, an achiever, doing great things in her career, being a present mother, very, nice lady, welcoming, kind, all the qualities you desire. But she felt like she didn't feel love. Why? Because her husband would not show her affection. I could feel her pain. Dear husbands, affection that's how women perceive love. It's not just by saying I'm married to you. You have to show affection to your spouse. And one of the ways, if you don't know how to show affection to your wife, let me guide you on how you can do that. Number one, simply listen to them. If you go to counseling offices, marital marriage counselors can attest to this. A lot of women come to counselors not because they really need a solution. They simply need someone who can pay attention to them, who can listen to them. A lot of times, women don't even need you to give them the solution there. They just want to be sure that you understand what they feel, how they feel, and where they are at that point in their lives. Many wives don't just want you to just, okay, when you give a listening ear, it's like she feels loved. She feels appreciated. She feels recognized. Yes, you can bring a solution to the problem if you can, but it's more appealing to her to know that you at least listened and you cared first before trying to fix it. So the next thing is about doing thoughtful things for your partner. Be thoughtful about how you treat your partner. I've seen couples, some people prefer what people media attention. You see a man throwing flowers to his wife, or a woman saying all sorts of heroic things about her husband in public, only on social media platforms. But in the private, they cannot even communicate. They cannot communicate normal. I mean, they don't even know, they cannot even communicate, or even communicate on how to communicate. They cannot. They are constantly at loggerheads. At the end of the day, people will just applaud you for all the praises you shower on your spouse in public. But it ends there. And inside you'll be feeling empty. What's the need to have a home on fire when outside you're putting up a wrong image? An image of someone who is fulfilled or satisfied. When you can rather fix the one from inside, and automatically it's going to flow. Please, be thoughtful. Be thoughtful about the kind of things you tell your spouse. Be kind with your words. Some of you are so, let me say, use the word rash. You're so quick to say things, critical in the way you say things, and it hurts your partners. You don't even care. And when you see, when people hear a lot of negativity, it even pollutes the atmosphere in their house in such a way that the children grow up and they don't feel the atmosphere is always about insulting, criticism. What will it cost you to just tell, to say, to be kind to your partner in your words? Even when you want to approach a situation that is difficult, you mustn't approach it in a way like you want to hurt the next person. You can approach it in a kind way and have better results. The idea is getting a solution. The idea is not hurting your partner. When you hurt your partner, you are not bringing out the solution. You are just bringing someone that would defend another. You're just trying to, bring up a fight that will end up with no result and a prolonged battle. Then fighting the wrong battles, because you don't have to fight each other. The real enemy, like I said, is not your spouse. The real enemy is there looking at you and laughing. Meanwhile, you're fighting the person you're supposed to be fighting with. You're fighting against the person you're supposed to be fighting with. Please be thoughtful about what you do. Be thoughtful about your words. Plan for dates. That's how you show affection to your spouse. See, marriage life is busy. Let nobody fool you. Even when you get married, realize that it's a busy life. You will always have reasons not to even be romantic. I bet you. Especially when our bundles of joy come, our kids, when kids are around. They're taking care of kids. Parenting is very demanding. It's one of the most demanding tasks in marriage, in marriage. Career can be demanding. Every other thing can be demanding. Especially parenting. I know I'm saying this because a lot of times I've heard some people say, like, we have kids. I don't know, we don't have time to really plan a date like we used to do before. Yes, that. But I don't think that's it. I think that's a wrong way of placing priorities. What you don't know is that the state of that marriage will affect those children directly. They'll be the most affected if the marriage works out and if the marriage doesn't work out. So if you stop treating each other as lovers and you think that you just want to be good parents to your children, you will end up hurting those children if the marriage, your union breaks or your union is dissolved over time. You have to be intentional about building the bond. You have to be intentional about building the bond together so that the bond in the long can be a blessing to your children. Please plan for dates. A date must not be expensive, like I always say. It mustn't be an expensive thing. A date mustn't be expensive. You can plan for an outing. You mustn't even go out to a restaurant. Just a walk. You can plan and you have someone take care of the kids and you take a walk as a couple. 30 minutes, 1 hour, even once a week. You get to talk, not about problems, not about the kids, just about yourself, about what interests you, getting to know yourselves better. This investment is going to yield great dividends in your marriage.